we've seen 4 seasons of this relationship go through ups and downs, trust issues, their sons moving into the drug game. When we reach season 4, are Charles and Lucille still thinking about family ultimately, or are they at the point where they know it's our time to kind of chart our own paths individually? And I'll start with you, Michole.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the latter that we're charting our own paths individually. And I know for me, everybody is just kind of everybody's separating. So it's like, well, what do you have left to do? You need to take care of yourself because nobody is gonna take care of you, and nobody takes care of you better than you can do it yourself. So it's definitely that time.
Russell.
Yes, I mean, it just hit me. This is the season is the scattering of the four winds, if you will, and so I think that they're all, as Michole said, they're all sort of charting their own path and trying to discover, who they are. I think prior up to the previous seasons, it was all about the family and its nucleus. And as kids grow up, Nicole's leaving, everything like that, and also Charles and Lucille being divorced, um, what's holding them? So now everybody has to figure out what's best for them, and they have to, go out there and search and find it for themselves.
So we kind of see a shift. Last season, we saw Charles a little bit up as far as his career, and Lucille was still finding her footing. This season, we see her taking some steps to advance her life and career goals, and Charles is kind of taking a back seat. Do you think that they look, even though they're divorced, kind of look at where each other's at and sort of pace themselves with the other?
I don't think you could help but do that. I mean, I think that's human nature. I mean, you're going to look to the
Mhm.
left, to the right, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And sort of see how you can keep pace, and I think that's also, for at least for Charles, like part of his deficiency. You know what I mean? It's like you've been looking around and not having blinders on and worrying about what you are doing, and so I've been saying that often. I don't think Charles really knows who he is, which is why you have to look around and to see what others are doing to see how you can keep pace, keep step, or even find inspiration or examples of what to do, you know.
And I think that Lucille is moving at a different pace and is wanting to move faster, and Charles is in a different place. And so which makes her sometimes feel a little stuck because she can't kind of get out of this thing to kind of have her own life because of how closely they're bonded, and she just wants him to get that thing together.
So although
Get
divorced, we
that
have
thing
reached,
together.
man, we have reached the point in their relationship, as you mentioned, they are totally empty nesters. We're going to see baby girl, move on with her life and so forth. Do you think at any point they look at Meech and Terry and blame them for some of the issues that they have had within each other now that there's a little bit of distance in between the starts of it?
Hmm. I don't. I think from Charles' standpoint, he would blame himself before he would blame his children. And I think that's part of the ills, the issues that he's having, the trauma he's dealing with, um, is that he didn't do his job, and I think he blames himself for that. He blames himself for where the boys are. He blames himself for the house not being together. I think he blames a lot of himself for Charles and Lucille not being, with each other and what he did to contribute to that. So you have to look in the mirror. And I think that that's sort of why things get to where they get to, is because he did finally look in the mirror, and you ask yourself, what do I have and what have I done?
So, Russell, I saw that you were directing an episode this season. What is that experience like? I'm not sure if this is your first, but this is the first that I've noticed
Mhm.
for this.
It's actually my second officially. I did 307 last year.
Okay.
And so this year was 402. It's really an opportunity to continue to grow as an artist, quite honestly. And I think that at my age and experience, I think that you want to sort of step outside of yourself. When you're a younger actor, you're very selfish, and it's about what am I doing? What am I bringing to the table? You know what I mean? You do times where you my line, my line, my line as you're reading the script and everything like that. And then once you grow and you mature, I want to help tell the whole story now. And I think that that's what directing has allowed me to do is pay closer attention to the material, and actually, bring my consciousness, bring my conscientiousness, my point of view to the screen, and how I can lend that and help tell these stories.
So as we see, I mentioned that Lucille is stepping up as far as her role within the church and in her life. What is her mindset about where she is looking to the future as it relates to Meech and Terry, her oldest children, because they still are doing what they're doing? And is she still learning that balance, or does she feel like she has a handle on it at this point?
She's still learning the
The
balance
balance
for,
of these are my children and they're doing things that I don't like, but I'm serving in this capacity and it impacts me. And we kind of,
yeah.
go back and forth with what is okay within that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she is trying to balance that out, but at the same time, it's like these are my kids. No matter what they do or what they don't do, I love my kids. So nobody can interfere with that. It's not okay necessarily what they're doing, but also I feel like sometimes they have found a way for themselves. And it's not quote unquote the right way, but they have found a way, and really they're brilliant. And they could be doing other things, but they have found a way for themselves and they are living their lives. And I think there's something about that she wants for herself too, you know?
Got it. So in wrapping up, if you could describe one word for the feeling of Lucille and Charles this season, not the theme, not, what's going to happen, but where they feel as far as their heart for season 4, what would it be?
As far as their heart for each other or just in the season?
In the season, whether that covers each other, their children, their place in life.
I would say broken.
Yeah.
It might be more than one word.
That's fine.
Okay.
A phrase, a
Okay.
word.
Yeah, I think it's giving herself permission to be imperfect.